Kristin. I just wanted to share with you a fun little activity I did with BMatto yesterday. Basically, we made our shaving cream backgrounds. So we took the shaving cream, put it on a plate, dropped in some re-inkers, swirled it around, smooshed our paper in, scraped off the shaving cream, and was left with beautiful marbled backgrounds. It was our first time doing it, so, lessons were learned. But I think that they came out pretty good. That's what I got these cheaper rulers from my crafty local resale store. We used them as scrapers. It wasn't too bad, but it ended up working out pretty well. And then we used skewers for stirring the shaving cream around. I used pinks and oranges, and BMatto used some neon blue, green, and yellow, which I thought was a good color palette because even if they did mix all together, eventually you would get a bright green. So we're going to save these skewer sticks for when we do it again. Since they had re-inkers on them, we will not ever be using these for food. So rather than keep using new skewers, we'll just keep using this. We also found toward the end, just stirring with the end of a ruler was just as good. And sometimes even, our fingers. We had cut up a whole bunch of different pieces of paper. Okay, well, I did, but he kind of helped me choose which papers. I mean, we even used the backs of packaging, and those kind of came out good. We did a mixture. Wasn't sure how well craft paper was going to come out. It came out about what I expected, but we have various things from white cardstock, watercolor paper, printer paper, just to kind of see heavyweight cardstock, another watercolor paper. So we had bunches to choose from. Of course, the handy dandy paper plates, we each took one. We probably would have done a whole lot more, but it was starting to get kind of hot outside. So we took a break, and we can always come back to it. I think we had 2 bottles of shaving cream, and we probably only used like this much of it. So we've got plenty to try for. And well, I'll insert some pictures of what our piles look like before we started smooshing in the paper. So that way you can kind of see what we started with. And da-da-da-da, here are our results. Now, BMatto was very happy with his results. In fact, so happy that, get a load of this. He said that his were museum quality, that his pieces belonged in a museum. I chuckled, and of course I agreed. He also wanted to keep his paper towels because, they ended up pretty cool. Maybe we could figure out some type of craft or adhere them down as like a fabric or texture or something like that. But here's his 2 paper towels. I did not keep mine. They weren't as vibrant as these, probably because he used neon colors and I just used regular dye ink refills. But, we had a little on our hands, but once we came inside and washed them, there was no staining, so I do like that. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so here are his results. Again, this was the craft paper. You can see some of it, I think, because his were some of the neon and darker colors. This might make a good subtle background. Of course, maybe some ink blending on it or die cutting or whatever he may want to do with these. This one ended up really kind of neat. You really do see the marble swirls through there, so I really kind of dig that one. I believe this one is probably, I think this is just heavyweight cream or ivory color paper that I had. So actually, this was probably some of the better cardstock that we were using. It was a heavier weight, 100-pound, and it really held up well. So I might have to keep that in mind for future ones. Here's another one on the cream cardstock. I think this edge was just my trimmer. I was using too many pieces at one time to chop them down, so it got a little scraggly, but that's okay. Got a nice bright yellow there, so those came out really nicely. BMatto also did this one. This ended up being just regular printer paper. It was a little warpy at first, a little wrinkly, but I think as it smoothed out over time, as it was drying, this is a great one. I guess I can see why, random napkin. He thinks that these are museum quality pieces. I mean, just look at how glowing those are. We did not try because they are neon to see if they would glow in like a black light or anything, but they are quite stunning. Okay, now mine. I did peach pie and pretty in pink refills from Stampin' Up, and I did throw in a little bit of the Distress ink and saltwater taffy. I figured at least if those start blending together, they'll look really nice. I can't remember which order I did these in. Here is just a piece of white cardstock. This is my go-to jam of 80 pounds from Hobby Lobby. I believe I did it twice over it, so that's why I got some interesting patterns on there. Patterns don't necessarily match up, but that's okay. The color palette's really nice, and depending on how I use it, it'll come out really good. This was the back of packaging. We had one last piece of like this basic mixed media paper from Dollar Tree. So it was kind of slick on here, and I was like, well, this might be kind of cool. Let's just see how it goes. Somehow this got cut along the way, but that's okay. Depending on how I use it, a nice little strip, and then the main piece there, or die cutting. I think that marbling came out pretty good. This was one I know I had done. It's probably one of the last ones. This is the cream colored cardstock. There's the back because my fingers were starting to get kind of inky there towards the end. And I did two run-throughs of this one. So there is some marbling there, but it ended up a little more peachy orange as more prints were pulled. It kept getting more and more mixed. I like a peachy color, so I was okay with that, but that's kind of fun. Oh, here's one I did from the beginning. I think this is my very first one, and I don't think we put enough drops of re-inker in the mix, so we tried it. Wasn't bad. Went back, added some more, and got definitely a more vibrant look. And this is on the 100-pound ivory cardstock. And here's my craft attempt. As exactly what I was expecting. It blended in really well. Most of us know that when we ink blend on cardstock, the craft cardstock, it just sucks it in. I believe this one was a one Recollections 80-pound from Michaels, but that's okay. It adds a subtle texture. I think it looked really cool once it's dry embossed, or maybe a little ink blended on it, especially if something's going on top. It's just a background. It doesn't have to totally stand out. I did both sides just to see if one would come out better than the other. In person, I can see the little bit of the orange. The pink, I think, probably really stands out the best. And these were the two that I had made on printer paper. You know, the real thin, 20-pound, 22-pound paper, super thin. Got a little wrinkly, but you know what? The marbling effect came out pretty nice. I'm wondering if I put these through my scanner on some of the good ones, if we don't come out with some pretty neat little collages, papers that then I could either print out on a cardstock or something like that. Or heck, let's just get in. Let's use those re-inkers. It's just a little bit of shaving cream. And those came out pretty good. And I liked how each one was different. You never knew what you were going to get. So depending on the colors, I think we did pretty darn good. Have you tried this before? Let me know. I think we'll be doing it again, maybe when it's a little less hot, or maybe we can get out there a little earlier in the morning. Well, thanks again for stopping by. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video, or perhaps subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye!